I'm Zach, and I name my farts after weed strains.
I'm Ben, and I'm too unprepared to make a funny statement.
To be completely fair, I thought of that one when I was out smoking.
Nice.
Like, wouldn't it be funny
So,
if it was like, that's cherry gelato?
speaking of weed farts, um, I remember when, I guess, mutual friend of ours back in the homeland, um, adjacent to cakes and Pop Tarts, like she would tell me, like the day after she smoked, her farts smelled like weed.
What?
Yeah.
That's kind of fucked up. I don't think that's how it should work.
Yeah, I've
Like, was
never.
she smoking through her ass?
I don't think so, but who knows? I still I think I have the file for the Pop Tart video, but I just don't know how to convert it out of like whatever cryptic phone video format that was used at the time.
It's probably better that way.
Yeah,
It's a funny memory.
at like 3 frames a second,
Mm-hmm.
the
And
size of a postage
in
stamp.
glorious, yeah, in glorious 8 pixels.
I mean, I think it was at least 80 pixels, but
And we're
a
not
good,
talking megapixels here. We're talking pixels.
yeah, like it was probably like 60 by 80 pixels. Um,
I just remember like the sound of the fart I'll never forget because it was a very like short but like not like that. It was like a
I just think the formatting or the setup is just funny because like you see the you just see the Pop Tart like on the toilet seat cover and then like slowly zooms in and then like you see the shower that's just like full of like junk because like I'll never their shower was insane. They had like the like multiple colored like 5 different loofahs and they had like all the shower caddy things and they had like crazy shower curtains with like multicolor fish on it and stuff. Um, and then suddenly you just see the ass hovering, and then the phone zooms in a little bit, and then you hear it. It was a work of art.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then I hear, and I'm like, "Oh shit! Oh god!" And what was that like? Jesus Christ! Fucking 17 years ago.
Yeah, '09. Yeah, about that. That's fun. It's a fun little memory.
Welcome back to your favorite coaster sucks. We're clearly an all roller coaster podcast, but occasionally we might delve into Pop Tart farts.
What do you think? Should we have her on the show?
I don't know.
I don't know how that would go. I think it would be kind of funny, but also it might not. I don't know.
It might be fun to have Applebee's on the show.
Yeah. So one thing I learned just from looking at other like other YouTubers or other podcasters who have like their old friends on to like talk about memories is that sometimes it just doesn't like convert into an entertaining show. Not saying it wouldn't be entertaining, but Applebee's would be kind of fun. Although that could be, you know what I mean? Like that could just be so. It's so much time has passed. Like I don't know. Well, we maybe we'll have to do like a trial run.
I
I
feel like if
think.
any of our old friends came on the show, my top choice would be Screwy St. Louis.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because we already had John on the show. I would have John back too.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should do that too. Um, since I just got to hang out with them recently.
Yeah,
Um,
as did I.
nice.
I'm pretty sure for the same reason.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I got to go to Great America. Just we both did, but not at the same time. So we both have a trip report of Great America, our home park that we both do not live at anymore. That we visited on different days.
And we missed each other by like a week or something.
Yeah, yeah. I had to wait for some work stuff to settle down so I could travel, and then I also had to do my trip though was like family overload, and not in like a bad way. Just it was basically like I landed, I got my like 3 hours of Great America time on the way up from the airport, and then I basically just like stayed with family for like 8 days, and then I drove back down to Chicago to fly home and stopped at Great America again for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's kind of similar to the trip that I had. Bookended Great America with a bunch of being my with my family, which is fine, but definitely can. Um, I gotta be careful here because I know my mom listens to the show occasionally. It's nice to see them, um, but like you reach a certain point where you're like, yeah, yeah, you know what
I
I
think
mean?
that, yeah, I mean, I think that the problem with that's just the problem when you live away from home is because you're trying to utilize all the time you have. But even when we did live at home, it's not like we were with our parents the whole time. Like you were either at school or at work or you were hanging out with friends, and you would like eat dinner together maybe, or like on Sunday you would do like a lunch with extended family or something. But then when you visit from out of town, suddenly you have this expectation to see them all the time because you're only there for a few days. But you've never spent that much time with them really before in like a long time. So it's just weird.
Well,
It's the
and
same
like,
thing.
let me ask you this, and I'll just be straight with you. You lived in Milwaukee for a while, and I know that's not super close to where your parents live, but it's like, reasonable that they would come out and visit you.
Yeah,
So,
and vice versa. Like it was very common of like, okay, we're gonna meet. You meet for a few hours, and then once it gets boring, you leave. It's like, but you could always go back like the next day or next weekend.
yeah, and like I had the same thing. I lived in Chicago, not super close to my parents, but they're in the suburbs, so not really far. Um, but like we didn't see each other a ton then.
Hmm.
It'd be like quarterly.
Yeah.
And since I've moved, it's been like pretty much the same frequency.
Okay. Yeah.
S- So it's like, I see you just the same now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I've been on like in every like I'm kind of been on. I think it's been like twice a year because my parents will visit me once a year, typically around the holidays, or like usually between October and December, and then I'll go out there. But the last 3 years, I've been out there for literally funerals.
Oh gosh.
So this is the first non-funeral visit in a while. But the holidays, it's just like, and also I don't like traveling on the holidays anymore. Um, and I don't know. I think I owe it to the Midwest to be back more frequently because I have the means to, but it's just like every time I go back, it's what's weird is like as more time passes and then you go home, it's like you realize how much the home is not changing. Like even after like a year or two, you come back and like, oh, this is exactly how it's been. Nothing's new.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that fucking pizza place is still there.
Hmm.
Oh, the other pizza place went out of business. Oh, okay.
Yeah, in my town, it was a big deal when they opened a second Taco Bell in the town
I
across
remember
this.
going to the one Taco Bell
Which, oh, did we go there?
with you, me, and St. Louis.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that was at the time. That was like the one Taco Bell. I have a lot of. It's funny how many memories a Taco Bell has because that one has a lot. I wish there was a way, and they knocked down the building and like rebuilt it in the same spot.
Oh, so it's like different now.
Yeah, they did that a couple years ago, apparently.
Well, it's a good thing all those memories were gone due to being stoned anyway.
Yeah, there was one there was one time that and this probably happened maybe in like 2009, 2010, and I was with some friends and like we smoked. I had to drive, so we drove my Geo, the old Geo Prism, which is another vehicle that has a lot of memories tied to it, which is still running. I met the guy recently who I sold the car to for like $500. Um,
It's still running?
yeah, it's up to like 230,000 miles. Apparently
Dude,
no issues with it. So
that Geo Metro is still running in 2025.
yeah, to be fair, it was a Prism, not the Metro. The Metro was a shitty car. The Prism was basically like a what's the fuck? Not the Honda Civic, maybe. What I forgot what their little four door is. Anyway, but yeah, basically they're basically all the same cars. But like, anyway, so I'm at Taco Bell and I'm like rattling off orders, and the guy at the taking the order was probably just as high as I was. And so like this was back when they had like the red screen with the pixels on it where it showed you like what you were ordering. Um, and so I was ordering for four different people, and
Uh-oh.
they're like, does everything look right on the screen? And I look at it and I can't read anything, and I'm just like, yeah, it looks good. And then suddenly like we pull up and they're like, okay, the total is like 36.50, and I was like, fuck, like how is it this expensive? Like it should only be like $20. And I'm like, I don't know, like, hey, I need cash. So everyone's just like handing me like singles and fives to try to get the amount. Is like, how is it this much? And then they hand us like two big bags. And you're like, how this is not like this is way too much food. And then it was like everything was wrong. It was like a Mexican pizza instead of a quesadilla. It was like two XXL burritos, which were like a new thing at the time. No, and everyone got the wrong food.
And everybody ate it anyway.
Yeah, it's all the same.
It all came out of a cock gun.
I remember the coin game where you drop the coins and you get like free whatever.
Yeah, you'd have to like rotate that thing around and get it all
Hmm.
the way to the bottom step.
Yeah, the trick was though is that if you could position it to where you could drop it and it you can skip all of the steps and go right to basically the second last one, and then you would hit the little spinning dial, and then knock it back by like jiggling. The
Oh, okay.
easiest, the easiest though was the nickel for the cinnamon twist because the nickel was nice and flat, so it wouldn't bounce off the little steps.
What about a quarter? I guess a quarter is not really flat.
Yeah, the problem with the quarter is that it's heavier, and it's obviously like if you try it four times, you just lose $1. I think the also the what did I don't even remember. I think it was like a college charity, right? I don't remember what the charity was for.
Um, that I don't know, but I remember that a quarter got you a bean burrito.
Yeah, yeah. The nickel. I think a dime was nachos, and then the nickel was the cinnamon twist, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, I wonder when those went away.
I mean, probably like easily 10 years ago when people stopped carrying coins. It'd be kind of funny though if they just turned into like a video slot machine, like with like a touch thing for like your debit card.
Right? Accepts Apple Pay.
Yep.
It's like one spin, $1. Can win a number 7 combo.
Honestly, that's what they should. That's not a bad idea. Just $1 a shot. Plus, like with inflation, I mean, a quarter is basically $1 now. Dude, there was, I mean, up until recently, there was shit on their menu that was under $1. Remember, like all the 89-cent stuff? That was an era through at least like 2012, 2013. The 89-cent half pound cheesy beefy melt.
Yeah, I still don't know what the hell's in that.
I mean, to be fair, that one had a lot of cheese in it. Or that one was like mainly not cheese. It was mainly rice. It was like half rice, maybe a quarter of beans, and then a quarter of beef, and then just like cheese. The way that they rolled it though was that like the cheese was all kind of in like the top of the cylinder, but it was end to end. So you had the cheese on every bite, but it didn't really like melt throughout the whole thing.
Well, at least you got the good cheese distribution, though. That's important.
Yeah. But that shit in the when Eric and I did our like huge Edmonton road trip, that shit like it was basically lunch was $2 menu McChickens and a medium fry for like $1.59. That was under $5. And then at Taco Bell, I'd get like two cheesy beefy melts, and then I don't know, like maybe a quesadilla or something, or the $2 meal deal, also under $5. So you're eating for $10 a day. It's a
God.
long, it's a long gone era.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would do like a cheap ass fucking giant road trip anymore.
I mean, I guess you could do, yeah, because
Sandwiches. Just
yeah, I
make a
mean,
shitload of sandwiches, get a cooler.
I don't know, 7-Eleven food, like the 99-cent pizza or whatever, pizza slice or whatever. Little Caesars is still under $6. I think that it's up to like 5.95 now.
Oh yeah. I was also thinking like local grocery store, you get like frozen meals and microwave them
Yeah.
at the hotel.
The day, do you remember though, like those occasionally, like the Little Caesars, like binges where we'd have like five people and we'd get like five pizzas
That sounds pretty horrible.
with the crazy bread. The crazy bread was the for 99 cents.
Dude, I remember well one there was a Little Caesars. It's still there, I think, in Waukegan, so not too far from Great America. That has a fucking drive-through for hot and readies.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's probably like that should be standard if they're
That would
actually
be
hot and
cool.
ready. Yeah. I'm curious what the quality of a hot and ready is nowadays, though, because it's been a long time. I think probably since 2012 was the last time I bought a hot and ready.
Gotta
Um,
look up if Review Bra's been there anytime recently.
oh yeah, there
I,
is there is there is a Little Caesars. I pass it literally every day for the last 10 years that I've never been in there.
I had one since I've moved, and it was just as fine as I remember it being previously.
Yeah.
You're like, yep, that's a Little Caesars pizza. I remember in high school, the first year I had like off campus lunch. One time, a bunch of my friends and I crammed into somebody's car and went to the Little Caesars and got a hot and ready. We're all eating slices and like driving back to school. Some dude like leaned out the window and full on whipped one at a sign.
A slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Nice. Was it? Did it like explode, or did the cheese get stuck or anything?
I we drove by, so like I think he like just was trying to hit it. I couldn't see for sure because he was in like the passenger's seat and I was like behind the driver's seat.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch if he made it or not, but it was still fucking hilarious either way because like he like leaned out of the window with the slice and fucking hucked it. And we're going like 30 miles an hour or 35.
Nice.
Ah, dude, the suburbs.
I re- I remember a similar thing, but with like a full Taco Bell soda cup, like chucking it at. I think it was. I don't remember what the sign was, but or what it was, but I remember somebody like throwing a full soda cup like out the window, and then it just explodes. Also, someone did that to me on 94. We were driving back from Great America, one of our mutual friends, and he like had a full soda cup and he like chucked it out the window like super high, and it arced and then it just landed on my hood and it just popped and just like soda went everywhere.
That seems pretty on brand for that person.
Yeah, yeah. It was right before the toll thing too. It would have been funny if the camera would have caught it.
You're like, I gotta get a picture of that ticket.
Oh, speaking of which, fuck, I never paid my tolls for my trip.
Uh-oh.
Rental car, dude, the rental car toll thing is such a scam because you either pay like $15 a day to use the iPass that's in the car, or um, and I don't think it switches by day of use. It's pretty much like let's say you rent your car for 10 days, but you only need to use the iPass for one day. I think they charge you like the $15 per day to use it.
Yeah.
Um, or you don't use their pass, but then they charge you like a $9.99 admin fee per toll that they bill. So it's like if you go through five different tolls and each one was $1, it's $1 plus $9.99 admin fee for everyone, which adds up.
Yeah, you're better off getting the iPass.
Apparently the old ones don't work. I like because I googled it. I was like I have an old iPass, whatever, and like apparently they don't accept those anymore.
Think you could trade it in for a new one though.
Yeah.
You gotta go to like fucking a Jewel next time you're.
Well, so we don't. So in Colorado, our tolls are. We have like two main tolls that are HOV lanes, but I don't think the iPass works for it. It's like purely license plate tolling, but I think it is the same company that does Easy Pass, which I think also works with iPass, right? Isn't that like they're connected or something?
I believe so.
So I don't know. Tolls are a scam.
Mm-hmm. But so is car dependency.
True. That is true. Well, speaking of Illinois, I have to say, Great America. When I went, I had like probably the best visit to Great America I've had it since um, opening day 2009. If you remember that one,
That was a good time.
yeah, and I guess like the operations wise wasn't good back in '09, but like there were no lines.
Yep,
Um,
because it was early.
yeah, April 3rd. That was insane at the time. But I have to say, like, I don't know. This happens every time I've been to Great America since moving away. I have like these expectations in my head of like just like annoyance of like these like little annoyances, like, oh, this will be annoying, like, oh, got to get there early because of the fucking parking. Oh my god, the security line. I'm sure the pass isn't even going to work. Like all these like little things, and then I get there and it's completely seamless. Parking was fine. The security line was super easy. Got into the park no problems. Um, but everything was so clean. The entrance itself, like the design of the entrance, is kind of like it's okay. Like what does it say? Like see you again next time or something.
I don't really
Or
like it.
yeah, like it looks a little tacky, but it at least looks complete. I guess like, and I miss the old entrance obviously, but I mean it's fine. Like it's not great, but like it's not cheap. Um,
I don't like that they put up that fence that whole way around.
that's actually kind of crazy too because we were talking like, what happens if there's like a mass evacuation situation? That gate is just a choke point.
Yeah,
I don't think there's really any way. It looks like it's permanent too. Like it looks like there's not really a good way to like open it.
no. Like,
So
yeah, they could have put like additional gates with like the locking mechanisms in the ground.
yeah, I mean, I guess even then, if they were temporary, it wouldn't have helped. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a little weird.
I don't
Um,
like those gates at all because, like, I liked the freedom of being able to approach the security line from anywhere.
yeah,
Instead, you have to walk to the center of the parking lot from wherever you are.
yeah.
And then also they fenced, like, they put that one bathroom behind security now.
Oh, did they? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, dude, that bathroom that's outside by the old dog kennel.
Hmm.
Yeah, that shit's that's all behind that gate now. So there's not even a bathroom before security,
Okay, interesting.
which like their security is pretty seamless like you said, but still like dude, no bathroom?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if the bathroom is mainly used, um, yeah, I don't know.
Plus
Talk
I
about it.
think they probably got rid of the bike parking there too. Not that it's ever used that often, but
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember what it looked like. Are there still those tree planters there, like those big
yeah.
trees that were okay? But those are before security.
No, those are all after security now.
Oh right, okay.
Like all of that's past security. That's what I don't like. It's like that
Okay.
used to be like a proper entry plaza, but now it's all gated off.
Yeah.
Cause it's like it's kind of nice ish to have a smaller actual entry gate to get through, like an admission gate. But like
Hmm.
it kind of ruins the entry plaza, like the pre-admission entry plaza vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue if you're talking about like before the park opens, you're most likely going to go through security first, and then you'd like hang out in the front before the gates open. But yeah, it's
Yeah, but they had fixed that a while ago.
well, because wasn't it how the old design was? They had all those like switchbacks basically in the plaza for security before the
From the
ticketing.
old ticket booths.
Yeah,
Remember the old ticket booths?
yeah,
Yeah, that all was like they had the switchbacks from there up through the security point, and then like that little space between the old ticket booths and that admission gate.
Yeah.
They pushed the admission gate towards the parking lot and got rid of the old ticket booths, which makes sense structurally. Like, right? There's no need for those ticket booth buildings, but that had solved that problem of like I don't remember when they changed it, but remember I know in like '05, '06, '07, there was like it was like security and or it was admission. They would scan your ticket and then immediately it would be like the metal detector, like the old style one.
Hmm.
And so admission would just take fucking forever.
Yeah. No, lots of memories of that. But they also had like whatever 12, 16 lanes.
Yeah, that's true. But still, if they're only going like, 45 seconds per person,
Yeah.
it just made a choke point at the turnstiles. And so they switched that and that solved that problem. And I thought that was like, it was perfect as it was, right? At least in my
Hmm.
mind.
Yeah.
Although I think there's also a chance I'm being super nitpicky.
I mean, I think it's minor compared to the advantages of the new design, at least like what I saw. But I guess aesthetically, the new thing I don't love, but it's all I guess like it's Six Flags as long as it's not cheap. That's really like the main thing. Like I'm gonna look up a photo of it now because I forgot what it looks like.
But I also gotta say, when you walk in to the park itself, and I'm not, I really don't like what they did to the left side of Carousel Plaza.
Oh yeah, because they kind of opened that up, right? Where it's you can
Yeah, they
now
got rid of like basically a bunch of trees and green space.
yeah. Yeah, I noticed that too when I walked through. Like I was leaving the park, and then I'm like walking, and I'm like, wait a minute, like this is different.
Yeah,
There
they
used to be
changed that.
something here.
They changed that last season.
Okay, I do think it opens things up, though. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't think I hate it. I'm trying to look up a picture.
Yeah, but like here's the thing, right? I don't disagree that it opens things up, but like why do they need to be open? It's not
Yeah,
like the park's like fucking so consistently crowded that they need extra like elbow room for people to walk around, you know?
is it? Do they still do that parade down New Orleans place
Dude,
or no?
I was with our Great America buddy and our buddy John the day I was there. Well, the first day I was there. And our Great America buddy goes, "Yeah, there's a parade." And I'm like, "Oh, I got to see this." And he's like, "Well, it's not much of a parade. It's really like a float being pulled by a tractor."
Nice.
And then it was like, so I'm like, "Okay, I got to watch this." So we sit in Orleans Place, like across from like Rouladage, and it comes out and it's like a truck and it's like a bunch of people performers on this flatbed and they're singing Walking on Sunshine,
Nice.
and that was it. No other
So,
floats.
so just literally a single float.
Yeah, I think there might have been some dancers,
Okay.
but it was definitely it was more of like a cavalcade than a parade,
I
to
mean,
put it in
at that point,
Disney terms.
I mean, at that point, just like might as well just call it like a street show.
Well, I mean, I don't understand why they wouldn't have just gotten Bugs Bunny. That's one thing I gotta compliment them. Every time I walk through Hometown Square over the past like 2 seasons, I've seen um characters taking pictures in Hometown Square.
Yeah, I think I saw that too. Um, in general, I actually thought Hometown Square had some energy again, and I don't like I couldn't tell you like what differences there were, but I remember like it wasn't as sad as what I remember. Like, wasn't it? How long ago was that where that gazebo was like cut? Remember that they just like cut the fucking
That was
posts?
like 2012 or 13
Oh, okay, so it was a while ago.
because that was when they had Ignite. Yeah, that was 2013.
Oh shit, okay, that was a long time ago then. But pretty, I always thought since then, like that hometown square really didn't have any purpose. But I felt it was doing a lot better this time around. Also, like the approach of Wrath of Rakshasa, I thought was pretty cool. Like just how when you're in hometown square and you can see the drop, because I was a little concerned about um, there not being a midway next to the front first drop, like on other dive coasters. But I think there's enough. There's like enough midway interaction. I think they did a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, I agree. So I ended up going for the season pass preview. All right, legacy membership.
Nice.
So like the line stretched all the way back to fucking Aunt Martha's or whatever the hell it's called now.
Hmm.
And so we're waiting there. And then it starts raining and it's like, oh fuck. And meanwhile, it's like not surprising. It's like every fucking coaster person. It's not every coaster person, it's all coaster people. That's what I mean.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because people are talking about, oh, Magic Mountain and oh, Kings Island. And I'm like, okay. So then finally it gets moving. It was I got a lanyard. They
For
gave
the
everybody a lanyard
nice.
for the ride preview. And it was cycling well. I mean, it was only about a 15 minute wait without the switchbacks.
Hmm.
Um yeah, dude, so I got row 2, seat 7 all the way on the right-hand side in the direction of travel for my first ride. Yeah, it was definitely like a lot of side to side movement after the drop.
Yeah, and you can see that from the ground too. I don't know if it's technically shuffle, but there's yeah. It's I wouldn't say it's glass smooth.
No, it's kind of aggressive side to side. Like I got a little bit of a headache after that first ride. I do have to say, in that right seat, the roll into the turn, that shit's fucking awesome. But then I rode again and I got row 3, seat 7, and it was like even worse. Like that was the like aggressive one, dude.
That's too bad.
Like I definitely had a bit of a headache and I was like, 2 is enough. I'm going to go ride the Whizzer now.
How long? I mean, how long was the ride open for preview?
As far as I know, the whole night.
Oh, that's cool.
I did my 2 rides and then did Whizzer and then we bounced cuz it was also like um that stretch of county fair wasn't open. There was still a construction wall on the other side like near X Flight.
Okay.
And I think Demon has since reopened.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it was Demon is so closed when I was there 2 weeks ago. It looks like they're doing a lot of work to it. I'm kind of surprised. I'm glad it's happening because overall, I would say like it looks like they're putting a lot of energy and money back into a lot of neglected things, which is good. But I had I had the opposite problem with Wrath of Rakshasa. In I got 3 rides on it, but I only got fucking center seats. So basically, I rode row one, right, just one right of center, row two, um, left of center, one left of center, and then row three, dead center. The dead center was like the lamest shit I've ever been on because there's no other rides you can ride where you're like in the dead center of the heart line and there's zero forces. It's like literally zero forces in the rolls, which makes sense. But I kind of was like, with
Okay,
such,
but how's like the pullover on the drop is pretty great.
yeah, the drop's obviously good. Yeah, like I like the drop. It was mainly though just like I was just kind of thinking like in this situation of not allowing seat assignments, do they need to implement something in the station that allows you to either wait like in the dead center or on the right or left? Because I think that there's some people who would want to only ride in the center, and then there's people who would only want to ride on the outsides. I was just kind of like, I was just like thinking through that because like the dead center is a totally different ride than any of the outside seats.
No, because after this season, there won't be like demand like that for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, but yeah, I don't think there's really a good way to do it. I don't know. Either way, dead center though doesn't have a rattle or it's not really rough. It's actually pretty smooth if you ride in the dead center. So that is the one like upside. I just kind of hate the setup. Like I don't get why you need an odd number of seats. It's kind of weird. Um,
Yeah, I don't get the whole appeal of like why there's like basically anywhere from what 6 or 5 to 8.
mhm.
Like 6 and 8 seems fine. Those are two good sizes, right? Like why bother with 5 and or 7?
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
there's
know.
a 5, right?
Um, I don't. Wait, is there a 5?
Maybe
I
not.
thought it was. Yeah,
Maybe it's 6. But like if it's 6, 7, 8, why even fucking bother with 7?
yeah. I don't know. I don't get it. Also, I was supposed to have. Um, I was the last. I was the last person in the air gate, and I was supposed to get the outside seat. But then the two kids that were in the queue with me, they sniped it. So like they were in front of me, but they like sat down on the outside, so I had to go to the middle. I wasn't gonna like make a stink about it. Um,
You should have. You should have been like, you know who I am.
um, I was bummed out though, and I saw it happen actually a couple times. Like if I think kids have, I think the kids kind of figured it out how you can like snipe the outside seats. Um, and then I felt bad even asking, but there was the last time I went to go ride, I was in the front row, and I was supposed to be like third, whatever, one right of center, and there were two kids behind me, and I just asked, I was like, "Hey, do you guys like want the outside?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." Like, just wondering. So I did not get my outside seat. I also didn't try very hard, but I figured it's not worth it. Um, but anyway, I walked away with thinking pretty highly of the ride, not as like a roller coaster, but just as like a Great America edition. I think like Great America did a really good job with it. I mean, the landscaping looks good. I think The way that they squeezed it into the spot was good. They didn't really have to like fuck anything up to get it to fit. Um, I think Great America did a really good job. All of my complaints are mainly about B&M. I don't like the odd number of seats. I don't think it's great that you have such a rattly rough ride in 2025. I also
Yeah,
just
I uh, just to tack onto that real quick. I literally rode this shit on day 0 to the public. Fucking
yeah,
what the hell?
yeah. I'm guessing it's because of like whatever their people are saying, like the cheaper steel manufacturing or like the cheaper wheel assembly components or something. Um, it sucks because like if that were, and also like I was on YouTube and I was looking up Shikra Media Day footage, and that shit was like glass smooth because no one's heads are moving at all. Like everyone's head is like stationary in the restraint. And then you compare it to Wrath of Rakshasa, and everyone's head's like bobbing side to side. So the coaster that opened 20 years ago is somehow glass smooth, and the modern one is the rough one. I don't get it.
Well, um our Great America buddy pointed out that thankfully it has the vests, not the old
Mm-hmm.
hard restraints,
Mm-hmm.
cuz that would be fucking painful.
Do you think that's why they switched to vests?
No, but I think it's benefited them cuz they switched to vests like 10 years ago.
Well, they switched it on Banshee,
Yeah.
but Banshee was the first like in the like enthusiast bubble, the first like so-called rough B&M, because everyone always talked about the Banshee Shuffle when it first opened. So I wonder if there is like some weird. I mean, I don't know. I doubt B&M was like we're gonna put vests on so there's no headbanging, but Banshee would be one of the rides where you would get a little bit of headbanging on some of the like rattly parts.
I don't like remember much of a rattle on there. I just remember it being fucking boring.
Yeah, Banshee is like it's hit or miss because it runs. It seems to run super different just depending on like the day and the train and stuff.
To be
Um,
fair, I've only ridden it like in the late fall.
yeah, when it's colder, yeah, that could be some. That could have something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean the drop is cool, but like I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on Banshee.
I mean, Banshee's always been pretty polarizing. I've had like bad rides on it, and I've also had great rides on it, with not much in the middle.
Fucking um I was thinking about inverts. Well, for one thing, I was like right basically at Great America this past weekend. In fact, I found out that I didn't realize that the park is open sometimes during events,
Oh yeah, yeah, we were there during Ed Sheeran.
which apparently set the attendance record for that stadium. So,
Wait, Ed Sheeran?
yeah,
Oh my god. What's up with arenas? Like arena shows in general, whether it's comedy or music, like I don't know anybody I don't know anybody who listens to Ed Sheeran. How is he selling a venue? How is he selling out an arena?
I mean, like, what's it called? Probably a lot of people there to hear thinking out loud
Yeah.
and um shape of you. Like he's had like some like incredibly big hits, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like I went and saw Metallica at the stadium, and like they do like they're on a current run where they're doing 2 night shows. In fact, if this comes out Friday, they're in Denver
On Friday?
and Sunday.
Okay.
And if it's like how it was here in the Bay Area, then tickets right now in the lead up to the show should be pretty decently priced.
I just hate going to Mile High for concerts. It's like I've just really never enjoyed the arena shows. I can probably hear it from the backyard though. Also, it's Pride weekend, which is kind of funny.
Oh, that's fun. Well, I know I have some Metallica friends who will be in Denver for the shows. But anyway, um it was like on Friday, crowd was kind of tepid and the band was particularly loose, which was odd. But um they played Nothing Else Mattered and like everybody fucking got their phones out
Hmm.
and it's like, "Oh, yeah, that's why there's 60,000 people here or whatever."
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I'm a diehard. I know the words to the songs that they're the other songs. I know the fucking drum fills and all that shit, and I'm rocking out the whole time. But the reason that there's fucking everybody in the stadium is to hear Nothing Else Matters and Master of Puppets and Enter Sandman.
So they would just play those all up at the top, and
No.
then so I always thought it was funny. Every time I've seen Modest Mouse, they literally will just they crank out all of their like main hits right up at the top, and then they do like a little like fake out like closer, and then everybody like half the crowd leaves, and then they'll take like a 20-minute break, and then they'll come back out, and then like everyone moves closer, and then they'll do like a second fake out closer, and then they'll like go off for another 20 minutes, and then they'll come back out, and the crowd's even smaller, and then they play like all their old stuff. It's a good way to like weed out the different types of fans you have at your show. But it was literally like they like they opened with like it was basically like dashboard, and then it was float on, and then it was I don't know lampshades, and then they maybe like two other songs, and then like it's like okay, all right, everyone, thanks for coming out, great time, like drive safe, and then the lights went out, and then literally everyone just fucking like left, which I thought was like a very pretentious way to manage your shows, but also kind of funny.
It's kind of a dick move, but like if you're going to follow it up with like some real deep cuts, then that's dope as hell.
Yeah,
Like I wish they would be playing like a shitload of deep cuts, but I also think that if you're playing like a stadium like that, you have a bigger responsibility to the audience.
yeah, yeah, because that's I mean that the income that you probably get on an arena tour is insane. With that too, like, have you ever seen comedy at an arena?
No, but it seems awful.
Like, who the hell is going to see Bert in an arena?
Like comedy with more than like honestly like more than like 300 to 500 people in the room seems awful.
Yeah,
Like if you can't just like see the comedian, if you're looking at like a screen, why? You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, like,
Cuz comedy is like it's not even like music. You're not going to record stand-up material in a studio. Like when you see a comedian doing their material, there's an audience that's replying. You know what I mean? So even if it's the same material, it's gonna be a different experience when if you see it. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
So if
yeah,
it doesn't have that a certain level of intimacy to it, um, I think it's kind of self defeating.
right. Yeah, exactly.
it's like sure, Kevin Hart's fucking funny, but like it just it can't hit the same in some giant 15,000 seat building watching a screen, right? Versus like going to, you know, the bar, the comedy club, whatever, and catching some local cats. Because even if the material's not so good, it's like the performance is the art and the moment is the art, right?
Yeah, like in even yeah, I don't know. Also, like the delay of the sound has to be kind of annoying, especially if you're. I don't know. I imagine if you're like trying to do comedy because the arena is so big, the feedback is probably going to take a couple seconds. And also, like, yeah, the laugh it probably just sounds weird. It just sounds like all like you know, it's all melded together. Yeah, I've never seen an arena comedy show. I don't know if I want to
Yeah,
like.
no, I mean I've seen like the original Kings of Comedy tour movie, and like obviously those dudes all are funny. Apparently Steve Harvey stole some of that material, but I don't really know all the details there. But more to the point, it's just like, yeah, dude, going to an arena to see comedy just seems bizarre. I think the biggest place that comedy could probably work at and maintain that type of intimacy is like a rock club, like a 1,000 seat, and not even seat. They normally is a pit if there's a band type of thing.
Yeah. Oh well, real quick before I forget on Great America for switching topics.
Oh yeah, no, we should probably talk a little more about theme parks.
Oh, it just popped in my head. I have to say, when I left the park that first time, I was like, I'm actually excited to see this park as a Cedar Fair park
No,
because I
you've
think
been to the other one,
no, but that's a poorly managed Cedar Fair park. I think
and the
Great Amer-
different.
No, I think no, I think as like a main flagship park for the chain, as like a high money maker. Um, I think also just because of the theme, because a lot of the theme at Gurney, Illinois, or Gurney Great America is still kind of intact. Like that, whatever you want to call it, that like Americana theme is still intact, and I think that actually works better under Cedar Fair than it does under Six Flags with like fucking hair gel ads and all the like DC shit everywhere. I think
Okay,
Great
well,
America.
Yankee Harbor's not coming back, my friend.
Well, yeah, I know, but I guess what I'm saying is like I think Great America, Gurney Great America might be the outlier of the. It's probably the only park in the chain that is actually going to get better under Cedar Fair management. It's probably it's literally going to be the only one that gets better under Cedar Fair management. I think in this weird situation, like it's going to come out really far ahead. And I actually think that the park's best days are ahead. I'm a little optimistic. Um, I don't know. It felt like there was life in the park again this past visit that I haven't felt in a long time. Plus, it's like little details. Like every queue line was like everything was like pressure washed. Everything was repainted. Those like little things that you are just used to seeing that have been broken for 10 plus years like finally work again. Like speakers were replaced. Uh Potted plants that were just normally dead were actually like looking pretty good. I don't know. It felt like a different park.
Yeah, but they
And
started doing that shit last season.
well, right. I wasn't there last season, so it's possible this was all before that. But either way, it seems like they stripped a lot of the bullshit out. like all the weird ads and just like the things that didn't make sense that were out of place. Um, I don't know, and also just like it's like these tiny things like the sound effects and giant drop were working in the queue line, and it looked like it was like cleaned up and repainted and a lot of things like that. And also, the grippers at all the rides are doing a pretty good job. The old like Batman Q line soundtrack was back on, which is kind of cool. Although that might have been on for a while.
I feel
One,
like I gotta say this. I hope they bring back Holiday in the Park.
I mean, I feel like of all the parks, they probably should because if it's really as big of a moneymaker as they claim it is, like I don't see why they shouldn't.
I mean, it was there from 2018 through 2022. So,
Yeah,
like, I don't know. That seems like enough years of bringing it back that it must have been somewhat profitable.
yeah. I mean, especially with these mild winters, doesn't. Although I guess I wonder if it's some weird management thing of like layoffs and trying to doge their staff because they don't want to pay people full time year round salaries.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I it what's funny is it probably does make them money, but I have some weird feeling it's probably literally because they don't want to pay people year round.
That makes a lot of sense. Tony Clark doesn't want to have to fly out to Chicago in the winter to do media.
But yeah, like I wish I got a ride on Demon to see how that was changing. Or see how that was in what shape that was in. But yeah, I don't know. I just it may have just been like a one off day, like a really good day, but I actually felt I was very leery of the whole switch, the whole merger, and I actually feel pretty good about it now. At least for Great America. The other parks, I think a lot of the other parks are probably gonna get fucked. Like obviously Six Flags America is closing.
Six
The
Flags Great Adventure.
Do you think Great Adventure is gonna close? Or is it just
Mm, at this point, no. Although, see, like, I don't know, man. Anything could happen, right?
I think Great Adventure is safe, but I have a feeling they're gonna try to change it into more of a like a family park. So I think they don't need to invest in thrill rides there anymore. I think is like their main transition.
I
So
think California's Great America is definitely done,
oh for
and
sure. Well yeah. My
I
prediction is that they're gonna want to close Discovery Kingdom because that park doesn't make sense. I would almost say it's like one of the worst Six Flags in the chain that I've been to. Um, like they take out the dry side completely. Maybe they leave the zoo. I don't know, or they just sell the whole thing. And then they transition the California theme park market into purely Magic Mountain and Knott's. So like they try to make Magic Mountain more of the like main draw for California, like get people in from San Francisco to drive the 5 hours. Maybe they add a hotel or a resort or something.
yeah, I don't see that happening.
The resort part or the Discovery Kingdom?
Discovery Kingdom, I don't know. I don't know if Vallejo is. It doesn't. I haven't been there, but it doesn't seem like the most desirable area for land in the Bay Area. But I, again, haven't been there. I don't really know much about it. But they definitely could just close it because
Yeah. I mean,
in terms of Magic Mountain, I don't see them pouring that much resource into that park, right? I don't think they'll sell it off currently. but I think Knott's is going to be even more of the favorite, right? Because look, it's not.
Yeah, I think Knott's is always going to be there. I don't think that park is going anywhere. I don't think that like it's going to remain as is. But I do think that there's enough market to keep both Magic Mountain and Knott's just as like different experiences. Um, but I do think that in the state of for the state of California, like the Bay Area doesn't really need theme parks. I mean, Portland doesn't have a theme park besides like two small ones. Seattle doesn't have a theme park besides Wild Waves. Like for some reason,
Hey,
just
hey, can I just say fuck off?
I'm just saying, you guys up in the Bay Area, like they're just not like that West Coast besides Southern California just isn't. For some reason, they're just not like theme park people. It's the same with like Colorado and Montana, and like they're just for some reason like people just aren't like theme park people unless they go to like Disney for the weekend. You know what I mean? They go out of the
God
way to
damn it. You're not wrong.
right. Like I don't know. It's because it's just you just don't need it. You do need theme parks in Ohio. You do need theme parks in like Indiana and Pennsylvania and um, you know, Wisconsin, whatever.
Yeah, but like I feel like San Jose needs a theme park, right? And they have Great America.
But I feel like no one's gonna miss it. Like, cause it's such a transient place, and it's so many. There's so many like new residents there. Like, it doesn't like that area doesn't have any like long time residents. It's all like people who move there for a couple of years and then move out. It's like a fast moving, just transient place. Same with Portland and Seattle. It's I don't know Denver. Like it'll be missed, but I don't think it's a real hit. Whereas like you close a theme park in Pennsylvania and people will fucking people will lose their mind. You close a theme park in Ohio and you'll be put on like a terrorist watch list.
They closed Geauga Lake, dude.
Yeah, but it was like there was still Cedar Point and Kings Island. I mean, that's true though. That's a good point. But I think that one is a little different. And actually, people did freak out about Geauga Lake. But there was a park 45 minutes down the road too. I mean, that was a dumb idea trying to compete with Cedar Point 45 minutes away
Yeah.
in the same metro area too. Like, um, I don't know. I think we're going to see some major changes, but I also think that after a couple of years, I mean, is the closing of Six Flags America and Six Flags America and Great America. Um, which is kind of funny. There are two parks with America in their name closing.
I
What is
feel
that?
like they're gonna be shrinking their portfolio even more.
Yeah. With that too, though, I think this like a lot of people say like, oh, Valley Fair and Dorney and Michigan's Adventure are next. I think I think Michigan's Adventure and Valley Fair are safe because those are like easy markets because they don't really have to build anything new. They're like those like small time like day trip picnic school group kind of parks. I mean, Valley Fair doesn't really put that much money in their park to upkeep it. I mean, they don't build new rides all the time, and it does just fine. Dorney though, I mean, is Dorney like is Dorney a? It has to be somewhat of a popular park, right? I mean, if they built a dive coaster, they're
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is right. They have a huge portfolio now, and so I'm sure what they're doing is not only looking at how profitable the parks are, but also looking at how valuable the parks and the land they sit on are.
Yeah, and with that, I don't think Dorney's land is that valuable. Is Allentown like I don't see Allentown as like
And also, like, to factor it in, what parks do they actually own versus which parks are they just in operating agreements for?
well, isn't what's the Great Escape is one of those, right? They don't own it.
No, I think they do.
Oh.
I think, like, Darien Lake.
Oh, right. Yep. And actually that's another park that I think is safe because Darien Lake it's just like a small market. And because of the concerts, I think that park actually does pretty well.
Well,
They
here,
might
let's
close
see.
they might close rides though. Like I could see Darien like ripping out a couple coasters, but and downsizing. Um
I'm trying to find out a number and like a list.
Dorney. Yeah, I would if I had to like put any money on parks, like if I had to pick another park for them to close after Six Flags America and after Great America, I would put money on Discovery Kingdom before Dorney or Darien Lake. And as far as safe ones, like I guess a good way to do it is like if you go through the ones that are safe, like Gurney Great America is definitely safe. Over Texas, Fiesta Texas, over Georgia, I think are good. Magic Mountain, Knott's are all those are probably definitely good. Worlds of Fun,
Um, well, I don't know. Worlds of Fun is like maybe Frontier City. That could probably go.
true. Although, but at the same time, Frontier City is one of those that it's so small that it probably doesn't cost them that much to operate. I mean, let's see. They have four coasters. Their newest one was from 2019, Mine Train, Kitty Coaster. Diamondback is SBNO.
Glad I wrote it. I'm looking at the map and I'm like, I don't know which ones.
Oh, apparently Frontier City they got um, Six Flags Astro World's Mine Train, but it was in storage.
What about LaRonde?
That's one. I think that one could be on the chopping block because of how neglected the park is. Like they haven't. I mean, that park is shit.
I haven't
Uh,
been there in many years, but yeah, that's one I'm like, that one's standing out to me too. Is like, I don't know. We're gonna have to let that one ruminate and revisit that soon.
yeah, like because I think that's one of those parks where it doesn't really offer anything special, and everything is garbage to where I don't like no one's gonna miss anything. Ednor at the SLC is their newest coaster from 2010, which is an SLC from.
They were supposed to get Green Lantern.
That's right. Oh god, and then their stand up coaster was bad.
Yes, it was. It was one of those intimate ones.
Hmm. To this day, it was probably like one of the roughest roller coasters I've been on. It just had such an awful like side to side shuffle. It wasn't like it wasn't like a I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't like abrupt headbanging. It was almost like somebody was like if you were sitting in a computer chair and someone like grabbed the computer chair and they were just like slowly like sloshing you like side to side. I don't know. It's hard. It was hard to explain, but it had some funky forces on it that were very painful with those restraints. Le Cobra.
Yeah, that was a weird park. I remember two of our friends went on the mini mine train by like basically like just sitting down, and when they were yelled at, just like kind of waving it off. And I was like, yeah, this is why people don't like Americans in other countries.
To be fair, everyone in Montreal knows English, but they just refuse to speak it.
Yeah, I know, because when I was there, I was eating some poutine, and this dude comes up to me and asks me in French, and I'm like, I don't, what? And he's like, where did you get that? So that was a very like what the fuck was that about, right?
Also, too, like, and this is I heard this from friends that have lived there. Basically, the French Canadians, their resentment is towards like other Canadians that visit and don't speak French. But if you tell, but if they find out you're an American, then it's cool and they'll talk English to you. Like their resentment about not about speaking French is really just towards the Canadians. But once they know you're an American, it's like, oh, you're just like a dumb American, and then they're cool with it.
Oh, well, that's kind of weird. I guess that explains a lot about that episode of Letterkenny,
Hmm.
which I haven't watched that show in a long time.
Yeah, same. I don't. I never thought I would. I mean, I didn't get bored of it necessarily, but I mean that format kind of it runs its course.
Yeah, it's like I think I watched like the first 6 seasons, and that's about all I needed.
Yeah,
I feel like that was plenty.
yeah. Six is fine. God, I'm looking at all these old Laurent. Yeah, Laurent can go. No one's gonna miss this park. Even what's funny is like you look at these videos from like I was watching this Coaster Force video, and even in the Coaster Force video, everything like looks old and shitty, and that was 12 years ago, and nothing has changed since then. There's probably not even anything that has new paint in that park. That park has not seen a paintbrush since probably the 90s.
I mean,
Goliath is good though.
yeah, my 300th roller coaster is there.
I would almost say that Goliath is still one of my favorite hypers.
It's really
It's
good because the layout's so simple.
I know.
Just like airtime, airtime, airtime.
And there's no ejector, but every bunny hill has like perfect floater. It's
Yeah,
like,
and I remember I'm pretty sure I rode in the front and back, and like both were really good.
hmm yeah, we got a bunch of rides on it, and even in the middle rows, like the middle rows are still pretty good. Like, yeah, that's such a fun ride.
I'm pretty sure I snuck a camera on that ride.
Nice. I mean, I bet no one cared at that park.
No, the scary one was when I snuck my camera on fucking Behemoth the year
Oh
it
yeah.
opened. It's on that same trip.
Although even there, I wonder if Canada's Wonderland is weird about cameras.
I mean, I know Cedar Fair is and was at that time, but yeah, I think Laurent definitely is probably in that pile.
Yeah,
I'm like maybe Worlds of Fun,
for close.
possibly St. Louis.
for closing.
Yeah.
Um. Oh yeah, I suppose I forget that they are kind of close together. That's
They're
a
not like super close, but like I don't
but
know,
see,
they just both seem like parks that maybe aren't super profitable. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, yeah, hard to say. I mean, St. Louis seems fine, but also I don't know because Worlds of Fun has a water park, right?
Yes.
And Six Flags St. Louis does too. I think, right?
Yep.
Huh. Okay. Maybe I don't know. I guess like it wouldn't. I guess it wouldn't surprise me if one of them closes, but I don't think I could give a good answer of which one I think would close. I think because like Worlds of Fun seems pretty solid. Those parks have also been around for so long, and I mean they were clearly successful then, but I don't know. Is part of their success due to their like competition? I don't know.
I don't think they compete with each other because St. Louis and Kansas City aren't really like close to each other like that.
Yeah, it's true. Oh damn! So there's a Le Monster POV that was from Coaster Force, and it's running completely trimless, and it looks insane.
Oh shit. Yeah, that ride wasn't great. That's my 300th. It was not great when I rode it.
Yeah, it was like slow and it was boring, or
Yeah,
and rough.
the deadly combination.
One of the operators is just like air drumming as it pulls in. All right, so I'll add Laron to the pick of to go die.
We're up in the ante from the coaster death pool to the park death pool.
Hmm. Although
Yeah,
I could
dude.
also with any parks closing, could see them not closing for a couple years, like because once they get rid of the two um, America parks, it might be a minute before they close another. I think overall it's fascinating how Great Adventure has not announced their new ride yet.
Yeah, they've just been like I assume just chugging along.
Damn, one of the corkscrew at Laron is called Super Menage.
Does it have 3 inversions?
um, I think it has two. Menage a trois.
Well, shit, dude. It's starting to get a bit late.
Yeah, same over here.
Yeah, I know
I
it's
made
even
the
later for you, but it's nice to be back.
yeah. If let's see, I think this will probably come out before the two backlog episodes.
Yeah, so we'll
So
have 2 episodes we recorded, I don't know, 6 weeks ago or whatever. But you
yeah,
guys will get to hear that soon.
this is probably the longest break I think the show has had in a while. That's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a season break or whatever.
Yeah. Life's been too weird
There's a lot
lately.
going on. Yeah.
I know.
Maybe we
I'm
can get into more of that sometime soon.
yeah. Yeah,
Or we could
it's
talk about theme parks. I don't know.
I'm still job hunting the shitty job market.
Could always learn to grow weed.
It's true. Or figure out how to sell sales interfaces for the weed industry.
There you go.
There is an agriculture component to SAP that a few companies use, and I wonder if there's a way to like implement that for weed. I'm sure. I mean, there should be, but problem is though those. I mean, those projects are super expensive. I don't know if weed companies have the capital to like invest in a big ERP system like that.
No, because everybody's trying to do everything for as cheap as possible while also making the most amount of money.
Yeah. Yep, that makes sense.
But, there's always money in the banana stand.
hmm
I don't know why.
Only. There's always only fans.
Yeah, there you go.
I've got a shed in the backyard to utilize for some movies. I guess I don't know.
Is this before or after it becomes the International Roller Coaster Museum?
Maybe at the same time.
That seems like a pretty good plan. Look, that's like, look, the Venn diagram of roller coaster weirdos.
And gay men
Yeah,
and furries and all sorts of things.
yeah, yeah, and like different kinks. Yeah, that Venn diagram. It's pretty. It's got a lot of overlapping space. The problem is when people start showing up to get tours.
Yeah, you got to make sure you really uh, know when someone comes to visit. You got to know what the exact intention is. It's like, what exactly are you here for?
I'm game for whatever.
Oh my god. Okay, so lately my YouTube algorithm keeps feeding me all videos with less than like 100 views. And this, I just found one. Okay, so this one has 201 views, but it's a Bush Light apple flavored review.
That's disgusting. Like you said, Bush Light, and I was like, ugh. And then you said apple flavor, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it looks disgusting.
I like weirdly can really picture the person that is like stoked about that though. I'm pretty sure they're wearing Carhartt.
Uh, Now wearing a like a golf tee.
Not the reviewer. I just
Oh,
meant
just
like the person that's like, holy shit, Bush Light apple.
oh, now I'm getting weird Mike's Harder Lemonade reviews. Man, this is getting dark.
One time, YouTube was like, you probably want to watch this, and it was like a dude that's like, I'm gonna drink and smoke cigarettes in the park all day.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That guy's channel blew up though. He even was recently interviewed by that Goblin guy.
That checks out.
What is it, David Jones or something?
I don't know. It was kind of sad.
I mean, imagine doing that like in 2011, and just how grim of a start that channel must be.
Yeah, right? I mean,
Because if it doesn't kick off, you're just alone in a park smoking cigarettes and drinking beer.
well, he wasn't even drinking beer. He was drinking like ciders. That was the sad. It was sad because it was like he was drinking ciders, and I think he was smoking reds.
Nice.
And I was like, well, that's. I don't know if that's what depression looks like, but that's certainly something.
In the interview I saw with him and Goblin, they were like doing like user submitted questions, and it was like, "What's the best cigarette for drunk driving?" Apparently, it was the American Spirit Black.
Oh, okay. That's a that's a pretty specific answer.
I've never had one of those myself.
Nor have I.
I was always the either the orange pack or the light green pack.
I think I only ever had the yellow. But now the idea of like smoking is kind of gross.
Yeah.
Like a cigarette. That's the other thing is like just being like smoking a bunch of cigarettes and drinking without any weed. That like seems nauseating to me.
Oh, without it? See,
Yeah.
usually when if I mix with the weed, that's when I get nauseous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've like the opposite sometimes.
Yeah, for me it's always like this I think especially with the cigarettes, it's like helps settle the stomach a bit. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready to bounce and make some summer episodes going forward. Our lives are going to be a little up in the air. That's okay.
Yeah.
We at
Hey.
least got on. Hey, we at least got on. Both got on one of the new coasters for the season.
Yeah, we had something to actually give some feedback on.
I mean, that's a pretty good start. So
Yeah, that's a good way to start off to kick off 2025 season.
yeah,
And yeah, it's good to be back. So we'll have some more content coming your way soon, y'all. You got anything else tonight, Ben?
uh, no, I think I'm all good.
Radio. Cool. Well, thanks, dude. This was fun.
Hell yeah.
And thank you all for listening. Join our Discord, and yeah, we will be back shortly. So until then,
Your
your favorite
favorite coaster
coaster
sucks.
sucks. Yep.